ES Audio.
Hello, I'm Mark Blunden and this is the Evening Standard's Tech and Science Daily. Coming up, mystery alien compounds found in British meteorite. But first,
hydrogen burn-off igniters initiated. 7.
It's liftoff for NASA's Artemis moon mission in the space agency's biggest ever rocket.
1. Boosters in ignition. And liftoff of Artemis 1. We rise together back to the moon and beyond.
The launch from Cape Canaveral in Florida is a seat warmer for the first human lunar mission in nearly half a century, which is planned for 2025.
5 engines on the core stage and 2 solid rocket boosters now propelling the vehicle at 128 miles per hour.
The roughly 330 feet long SLS rocket blasted off with the Orion spacecraft attached 1 month before the 50th anniversary of Apollo 17, which was the last time humans walked on the moon. Orion's 26-day trip will bring it just 60 miles from the lunar surface. That's the distance from London to Oxford, and it will test how well its heat shield can protect astronauts on re-entry.
All the years I started with NASA in 1962 and worked 55 years, and then I worked on Artemis flight software requirements. So I was just thinking of all the work, and that's what I thought about, and tears came to my eyes, I have to admit it.
That's Gray Settle, Huntsville, Alabama resident and former NASA employee. Next. Staying with space, and the Winchcombe meteorite has been found to contain alien water and organic compounds in its makeup, which could reveal insight into the origin of Earth's oceans. The rare carbonaceous meteorite crashed onto a driveway in Gloucestershire after lighting up the skies, and it's been examined by experts at the Natural History Museum and University of Glasgow. They also found amino acids in the rock, which are prebiotic molecules crucial to the origin of life. Now the team is trying to discover how this fascinating space rock came to Earth, so who knows, maybe the truth really is out there. Now, scientists at Cambridge University say they've developed synthetic enzymes that act like molecular scissors. It's hoped could help beat future viruses sprung on humanity, just like COVID-19.
Very early days, but we've been able to sort of identify a number of sites within the genome and use our system to generate a whole series of new antiviral enzymes. And when we put these into cells and challenge the cells with live SARS-CoV-2, we find that we are able to chop the genome and inhibit the replication of the virus.
That's Dr. Alex Taylor of the Cambridge Institute of Therapeutic Immunology and Infectious Disease, whose findings are published in Nature Communications. He explains how the technique works.
They'll float around in the cell, and if they encounter the right RNA, so if they encounter the RNA that's viral and not a normal human RNA that we want to leave alone, they're able to recognise that they've found the viral sequence and then activate the catalytic pore to chop it.
Dr. Taylor says the method isn't a replacement for vaccines, but is another tool in the medical arsenal for beating emerging viruses.
There can be many circumstances where we want to rapidly generate potential treatments as quickly as possible against sort of emerging threats. And this is somewhere where having a technology like this might be very useful.
Researchers are warning young people that excessive use of headphones and earbuds and going to loud gigs could be fueling hearing loss. The study by the Medical University of South Carolina says there's an urgent need for governments to protect ear health. Scientists also want tech companies doing more to make young people aware of the risks of high volumes being blasted through isolating earphones. The government has announced that an independent panel will examine what caused the deaths of thousands of crabs and lobsters on North Sea beaches last year. There's still mystery around what happened to the dead and dying crustaceans which were found washed ashore between October and December 2021. Trawlermen told how after the strange event, North Sea catches were extremely sparse. Government environment chiefs have pointed the finger at choking algae bloom as a cause, but scientists say industrial pollution could be to blame. Let's go to the ads. Coming up, fancy dining on a lab-grown fillet steak? Why not hit rate and follow in the meantime? Welcome back. The fast food delivery app Deliveroo is quitting Australia, citing challenging economic conditions. The British firm placed itself into voluntary administration and shuttered its app down under, which comes after pressure to treat its 15,000 drivers and riders as employees. The company faced stiff competition from the likes of Uber Eats and Menulog, as well as tightening regulations. Australian PM Anthony Albanese has criticised repeatedly on-demand tech companies for capitalising on the gig economy, saying business practices pushed down the workers' wages. Next, scientists have grown what they say is a pretty realistic tasting fillet steak in the lab, using artificially cultivated meat. 3D biotissues, that's a spin-off from Newcastle University, produced 3 bite-sized bits of tender fake beef, but you'd want to savour these mouthfuls as they're just 5 grams apiece. Allegedly, when they've been pan-fried, fake meat was able to caramelise and smelt like barbecued meat. So how was it done? Well, cells were removed from cows with a biopsy, and then chemical growth agents were added to increase the number of cells until a decent-sized steak was formed. And finally, these were electric vehicles well ahead of Tesla, and now 4 rare electric cranes have been given Grade 2 heritage listing. The cranes, erected in 1951 at Prince's Wharf in Bristol and used to handle cargo, are the only group of Stothert and Pitt travelling cranes still known to be in working order. They remained in use until the last trading ship offloaded timber at the wharf in November 1974. You're up to date. Come back at 4 p.m. for The Leader from the Evening Standard here in London. Tech and Science Daily is back tomorrow at 1 p.m. See you then.